This is the start, and this is the episode. It's starting here. Ryan, introduce us.
Welcome to the podcast. We are going to cover two amazing conspiracies that will shock your socks off.
Yeah,
shock your socks off.
I believe
something. I don't know.
This is officially day 3 of the conspiracy weeks. The 2 conspiracy weeks. Today we're doing 2 recordings today. Wish us luck.
Yeah, so hopefully we don't fall asleep.
I will not. Ryan might, because he's boring.
All right, well, I'm going to start us off with the conspiracy called the Olympic Exchange Hypothesis. I don't know.
I don't know either.
This is a conspiracy that states the Titanic never sank.
I like that.
There's several events and coincidences that occur in the months and days and hours leading up to the sinking of the Titanic, and the conclusion that the ship that sank was in fact the sister ship to the Titanic, which was the Olympic, and it was disguised as the Titanic as an insurance scam by its owners. So that's pretty interesting.
Yeah. I've heard
because then they would still have the quote-unquote sister ship, which would be... maybe that one was worth less, maybe?
Could be.
I think if they sunk that one instead. And then get the insurance money for the Titanic, which was probably insured for more. It doesn't say how much it was insured for.
Let's see. How much was the Titanic insured for?
It says it was controlled by J.P. Morgan. They had acquired the White Star Line in 1902.
The Titanic was insured for a whole value of $5 million US.
Wow.
Through 70 co-insurers, including Allianz with a Z.
Alliance. How much was the ship worth, does it say?
I'd probably have to look that up. It says that the construction cost $7.5 million US.
So it was insured for similar amount to what it was bought for.
About.
Yeah.
Like
it says it was about $7.5 million.
Yeah.
That was a lot of money back then.
No.
The comparison would be roughly $400 million to construct today.
Nice.
So that was quite an expensive endeavor at the time. So I guess we can look up how much the Olympic was worth.
The Olympic,
Olympic ship.
Let's come up with the Olympics.
It says it also cost $7.5 million. So that's interesting. So they insured the Titanic for what you say, $7 million?
$5 million.
It was insured for $5 million.
Yep, I think the whole, at least.
That does not seem worth it though, because those are both $7.5 million ships.
Well,
if you're committing an insurance scam to get $5 million back, why would you sink a $7.5 million ship?
Do you have to pay taxes on insurance things or whatever?
That I don't know, but I think it should be tax free to it should be like a write-off to build the boat. That should all be tax deductible. But then if you sold the boat, yeah, I think the taxes would be less than going all the way down to $5 million. Like maybe $1.5 million in taxes for a sale, I'd think. And then you still probably get more. I mean, I don't know what the tax rate was back then, or if it even had to be taxed to sell. Because sometimes in private deals and stuff like that, you don't even have to pay tax on that.
Another theory is that was sunk to eliminate opposition to the creation of the Federal Reserve Bank, I guess.
Yes. Because there's a bunch of the world's wealthiest men on board. I think 12 maybe, and they all died in the crash.
Because they
I also
swim.
heard that.
They never learned how.
Well, I mean, it is freezing cold water, so
They should have just gotten on a door. That's.
We both know that both of those characters in the Titanic movie could have survived.
Maybe.
That piece of wood was plenty big enough for both of them.
I don't think either of them should have survived, because being on a piece of wood from a door, like, the waves would still come up on top of it, and also air makes you cold when you're cold.
Mm-hmm. Very unrealistic, we'll say that.
Yeah, I am smart.
I haven't actually seen that movie because I don't watch stupid movies.
Oh, here's another one. While the Titanic was still dry docked and under construction, its sister ship, the Olympia, was sailing from Southampton, England to New York in September 1911. During this voyage, the Olympic became damaged on the rear starboard side. According to unlikely conspiracy, yeah, because it is unlikely, since the damage to the Olympic was extensive and expensive to repair, the owner of both ships, the White Star Line, that's who owned it, swapped the two vessels, so Olympic masqueraded as Titanic during its... So this is saying that the Olympic was the Titanic that sunk, I guess.
It was the one that sunk?
Yeah.
Because is that this conspiracy that they were swapped?
It was saying that they were swapped because the Olympic was already damaged, and so then they could collect the insurance money on the Olympic, acting like it hadn't been damaged before, and that it was the Titanic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, so that makes a lot more sense, because then they would be able to not have to pay all the extra money and insurance money to fix the boat, and they can just sink it instead and get the insurance money.
True.
From that. I'm sure it would have completely skyrocketed their insurance rate for fixing all that damaged boat.
Yeah.
I do believe, sir, it is your turn to speak.
I don't know. What am I supposed to say? I was reading.
Say whatever you feel like.
I got lost.
You are in charge of this podcast.
Did you spike me a ball and I fumbled it?
What?
What did you say?
Did I spike you a ball? That's not... No, that's... You don't watch football, do you?
That would be volleyball, my man.
Oh. I thought you were talking about football.
Yeah. No, I hate football.
You said fumble it, didn't you?
Yeah.
You said spike me the ball and I fumbled it. I guess that could be multiple sports, honestly.
I literally don't care. What did you say?
I said it's your turn to speak.
How is it my turn to
So
speak? You said something and then it's my turn to speak? What are you talking about? What are you talking about,
It is time to spill the beans.
If it was my turn to speak,
conspiracy.
I did spill all the beans. But if you're saying it's my turn to speak, that means you asked me a question and you didn't, and you're saying it's my turn to speak.
I was passing it to you. So you can do your conspiracy.
What?
Oh my gosh.
I haven't come to an end of this Titanic conspiracy, and you want to move on?
Oh, well, you just stopped talking, so I figured you were done.
I was reading. I read.
Okay, carry on.
I read, and then I add my notes, and you talk, and then I read, and I tell you things, and that's how we do it.
Okay.
We tell each other things about the conspiracies that we talk about. But we were talking about it, and then you're like, "All right, your turn." That's weird, Ryan.
Okay, fine. Continue.
I don't know what to say anymore. Anyway, Ryan, do you know how many names the Bigfoot goes by?
No, I know it's more than one. Like Yeti and Bigfoot, and that's all I know right now. Off the top of my head.
It's a lot. Before this podcast started, I got a small list of a couple of them. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's hear it.
There's Bigfoot, Sasquatch, Yeti, Skunk Ape, Yowie, Almas, and the Grassman. And there's more beyond that, but that's just an example for you. Yep, the Grassman. That's supposed to be a specific kind of Bigfoot who lives in the grass.
That's pretty weird.
That is pretty weird. Now, Bigfoot, massive actor, big star, you know? He's in many movies, and commercials. You seen that commercial with the Bigfoot that's like, I gotta take care of my kids. And she's wearing an apron, and it's mattresses.
I have not seen that commercial, I don't think.
Well, it's a good one. And I think in one of the versions of the commercials, she beats her child. So it's even better.
What? She beats her child in a commercial?
Yeah, about mattresses.
Wow, okay.
Now, who doesn't know what the Bigfoot is? It's like a man-ape gorilla dude. It's like if a gorilla was shaped like a man and very gorilla-sized though, and walked around.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
supposedly about 10 to 15 feet tall.
Yeah. Like imagine a gorilla's shoulders, and then make it proportional with a man. And that's a Bigfoot basically, right?
Yeah. This says that their feet are about 24 inches long,
like yours,
and 8 inches wide,
like yours.
Yeah, that's about twice the size of my foot.
That's incorrect. That would mean your foot is only a foot long, and I believe my foot is closer to a foot than your foot.
Well, I think my foot's aren't close to. Well, I think it's not that far over a foot. I don't think.
It's 3 feet long. Okay.
You caught me.
Common descriptions include broad shoulders, no visible neck, and long arms. That's you, Ryan.
That is me, yes.
You have no neck. You're like Big Ed from TLC, but a good person. You know who Big Ed is?
No.
Do you know?
Oh my gosh.
Do you know who that is, Ryan?
Yeah, I know who that is.
Wow, that's good. See,
I do not watch TLC.
No, I don't either. I watch people
I've seen
watch
him on
TLC.
YouTube.
Yeah, me too.
I think people just watch TLC on YouTube as clips.
Yeah, that's all I do. It's because it's funny and cool. And I'm awesome and based, but only the good one. Do you remember? Okay, a little bit of tangent. Ryan, have you ever known what based means?
Other than the actual meaning of the word, like where your home base is, you're based out of some like city or no? So I live in.
No, if you call you like calling a person based.
Oh no,
like
I have no idea what that means.
Or no, an adjective. Add noun. I don't know. I need to learn up on my grammar. I'm a writer.
Yeah, I don't know.
Based. here's a little tangent, right? Based, because I care about this, Ryan. Based was good, and then it was bad, and then it was good again.
Interesting.
And now it's starting to get bad again. So there's that for you, right?
That's way too complicated. You gotta pick one, you gotta stick with it, and you just gotta go with it.
No, the perpetually online people will take the things and they'll make them bad for everyone. Tales of wild, hairy humanoids exist throughout the world, and such creatures appear in the folklore of North America, including the mythologies of indigenous people. Bigfoot is an icon within the fringe pseudoscience of cryptozoology and an enduring element of popular culture. I once watched a movie where Bigfoot was in it, and he kidnapped a woman and then let her go. It was like King Kong, but it was made before King Kong, and they were in a cave.
That sounds very old. Before King Kong, wasn't King Kong in like the first King Kong like the 40s?
I literally don't know.
Do you know what the movie you watched is called?
Nope.
Oh, that's great.
You know what I do remember? And I don't know if I said this before. Bigfoot is often described as a large, muscular, and bipedal ape-like creature covered in black or dark brown or dark reddish hair. My favorite color is burnt orange Crayola flavor. Anecdotal descriptions estimate a height of roughly 1.8 to 2.7 meters, or in American, 6 to 9 feet. Nice. With some description having the creatures standing tall as 3 to 4.6 meters, or in American, 10 to 15 feet. What do you think about that? That sounds like you.
I don't know why they didn't just go 6 to 15.
6 to 15? Well,
whoever wrote the article, all they had to do is say 6 to 15 feet.
Well, then they couldn't have said 6 to 9. Nice. Some alleged observations describe Bigfoot as more man-like.
Oh my gosh.
I'm glad you get the joke, right?
You're right.
I'm glad you get the joke. With reports of a human-like face like yours. In 1971, multiple people in the Dalles, Oregon, filed a police report describing an overgrown ape, and one of the men claimed to have sighted the creature in the scope of his rifle, like you, but could not bring himself to shoot it because it looked more human than animal. Now, you like to shoot things, Ryan. Would you have shot the Bigfoot?
If it looked more like a human than an animal, I'd be very concerned that it was a very hairy human, and I would not shoot it, no.
I would have.
Just shoot first, ask questions later.
I think it would have been fun.
I could have sworn it was an ape. I'm like, no, that's Daryl. He lives down the street.
Daryl.
Well, he did live down the street.
Now, one of the things obviously, Bigfoot, cool, it's Bigfoot, right? But the bigger talking point is obviously the Bigfoot fans. Now, what do you think about Bigfoot fans and believers?
Well, it's hard to say. No one has a picture of it yet, so.
But they have footprint molds.
Yeah, okay. There's that one footage of it going across in the one video footage.
I love that.
That's the clearest picture we have of it. And honestly, it kind of looks like a suit. Like a monkey suit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like how it intentionally is looking at the camera and stuff.
We're going to put you in a monkey suit and make you do that.
Dude, I'd be all for that.
Yeah, just like how you used to be.
You got to take me to a restaurant or something, though.
I will. Well, you got to tell me the dates that you're coming up. That's right, listeners. We might have live podcast.
Yeah, and that'd probably be a lot better than
unlive
podcast.
Not live podcast. we're not doing it live. I decided right now. I mean to say in-person podcast, but you won't be here, listener. Love you to death, by the way.
That is true.
Yeah. Because we hate you.
Only Griffin does.
Love you to death, by the way.
I do think there was that one guy who claimed he did shoot a Bigfoot.
Really?
Not the Bigfoot bled all over his boots.
I've never seen that.
I've seen a lot of TV shows about Bigfoot because it seems to be very popular. Like those Bigfoot, the main Bigfoot guys on TV, and they always go like whacking tree limbs and screaming out in the woods, like doing the whoop sound or whatever, and then beating on trees in the dark.
I've only seen people act like that when they call it a skunk ape.
A skunk ape? Is that a different type of...
It's like a Bigfoot, but with skunk pattern. And it stinks. Yeah.
How does anyone know?
That it stinks?
They claim to see it, but then,
their fingers aren't fast enough. They can't get it all in frame. It's at least 6 to 9 feet. Nice. And at max 10 to 15 feet.
Yeah. Yeah, a couple of the stories I heard, and a couple of the ones that they did on the Bigfoot show, it was like, we had just been drinking, or I had just smoked my last blunt, and we're driving home, and I see this thing. Like, It seems like you were under influences at the time. How do you know what you saw? How do you know that was real?
You know who else was under influences at the time?
No.
The listeners of this podcast. See you later, guys.
Bye.